morning. Come back to you, Parliamentarian Otuekong. Now, we have seen that in recent times. Before now, it used to be PDP and APC in Akwa Ibom State. But in the advent of the 2022 general elections, we've seen the NNPP, we've seen the YPP, we've seen the Accord Party, we've seen Labour Party gathering momentum across the length and breadth of Akwa Ibom State. And I believe that this is what informed the decision or the statement by former Minister Chief Ndwese Essien predicting major parties might collapse in the forthcoming general elections. Do you agree or disagree with him on that statement?
I want to commend Chief Ndwese Essien, a statesman who has always been vocal, even when he was in the House of Reps. He's always been vocal on issues of development and the state politics. Chief Essien is one man that I hold in very high esteem. I agree partially with his assertion because when you read the statement in full, you will note where he said that in 1999 that that there was a seemingly free contest where the parties were independent and they did, carry out their businesses without interference. But what you have as today's politicking, that you have the owners of the parties. So at this statement, the first statement, I partially, disagree with him. Because I was around and I can tell you that in 1999, there was no much politicking because we were scared, haven't fought for democracy, haven't believed that the military has no business in governance, that they should give way. And we've had several disappointments in the military when they set up a system to transit, and they would disappoint us. So when the night came up, when General Absalami came up with the transition committee trying to transit to the civilian government, we are not really interested as to who should be what. So real people with ideologies, people with clear-cut vision on how to govern the system, we are even scared of whether the military government was even sincere in the first instance. I haven't seen what happened to Abiola, where he was drafted into the contest and later on his own best friend, IBB, and all the contest. So people were like scared coming out and being marked out by the military for, for arrest or for intimidation. So people were scared. Even at a point where we had 4 parties. Remember, you recall that Chief Dode Tebet, formed one of the parties and was later required to step down for the PDP's candidate and all other parties. We have 5 parties then. So what I'm trying to say in summary, I partially, disagree with him that in 1999, the contest then wasn't keen. It wasn't keenly contested. It wasn't fierce. It wasn't really, people come out to say, let's express our vision. At that point, we just said, let us pray that the military will not, step in again and truncate the system. And so we allow whatever came on board to pass through the, and be called elected leaders. But in 2014, they called from 1999 till 2014, we used to have the PDP. In 2014, we had something different, where you have people who came up together and occupy Nigeria under Save Nigeria group. And then we were saying that the government of PDP at the center had lost focus, had not given us the needed governance, and there is need for a change in party in the center and even in the country. You recall that some governors of the states who were under PDP, like led by Senator Mr. Rotimi Amechi and the rest, defected from the PDP to join the APC, and that gave rise to the PDP losing the center in 2015 to the APC. Now, what Chief Essien has seen or is trying to observe is that a similar scenario may likely play out, because what played out in 2014 was the hijack of the party by some cabals who call themselves owners of the party in 2014, and they tried to dictate the pace. Now, in 2022, you have a similar contest. Even at the primaries, the governors of the various states dictate the pace. They don't allow, there wasn't a seeming free and fair contest. those who bought form for House of Assembly, for House of Reps and Senate were even shortchanged by their own party. So there are people who now claim ownership of the party than others. And so a similar thing may likely repeat, that in 2023, you may have the major parties who have been caught in this trap of trying to play to the gallery, losing out at the contest. So I agree with him that the political party activities, the inter-party activities has not been fair to the party members. And how do you reward loyalty? How do you reward your members? That is why you might have the major parties losing out. Like you are seeing movement today across the country. People are just coming out on their own, doing t-shirt and face cap, especially the youth, coming out for one man, whose name I will not mention because I'm not here to campaign for any party, coming out to say this person should be and this one should not be. And you could see the trend, the way it's going. Look at the Nigerian Bar Conference, Nigerian Bar District Conference, what happened there, what played out, and every other event will show you that there is a movement that is going to change the narrative from what we have today when we get to the poll in 2023.
Indeed, there is a very gigantic shift in the mindset and orientation of Nigerians.